It's that time again. The Friday tradition. Guns in the 701. Best podcast on iHeart, bar none. Including my own. I hate the sound of my own voice for one thing, so it really doesn't say much to call you better than me. How you guys doing today?
It makes you feel better. I hate my voice, too.
Did you guys get, how many cases of that 100% woke-free American beer did you order?
I actually ordered a six-pack. We'll see how it is.
Okay, you be the guinea pig. You let us know how that is, because 100%, I didn't realize beer had woke in it. I mean, we all know now. We've all heard the story now, but I didn't know woke had a taste to it, so I hope that they do filter that out. If
that is a bad taste in your mouth.
I'd go broke drinking that.
Guns in the 701. So the coach of the Spurs says the Second Amendment freedom is a myth. Did he miss civics class? I mean, even if you don't care about guns, it's not a myth. We were taught that.
Yeah.
What part of Bill of Rights are you missing, guys? I mean,
Well, you maybe think like Obama said it's a bill of negative rights, but yeah, San Antonio Spurs coach Greg Popovich, if you watch basketball or in politics, Greg Popovich, known massive leftist. I mean, great coach, has won a lot of NBA titles, but yeah, when it comes to the guns, he was being interviewed before a Spurs and Mavs game last week, and then, just out of nowhere, he pops off and asks these reporters if they were carrying. And he was just wondering because the governor, lieutenant governor, attorney general had made it so much easier to have more guns in Texas, which he said was a response to the gender confused leftist in Nashville killing 3 kids and 3 adults at the school there. And then he goes on, they're going to cloak this in the myth of the Second Amendment, that's a freedom. And he said, it's just a myth. It's a joke. It's a game they play. Like you said, Todd, I don't know what he missed. I've known about the Bill of Rights since, far back as I can remember, second grade, I guess. The myth is if you believe it doesn't exist, because right there, it's true.
Yeah, I was going to say,
guarantees you're right.
I do remember sleeping through a lot of things in school, but somehow some of that trickled into my head that, no, that's actually a right we have, and yeah.
Right, it's quite easy to understand when you read it.
Yeah. I mean, and if you don't want to take advantage of that particular freedom, that's your choice. Fine. But it's not a myth. What's next? That 75 or 80 or whatever mile an hour speed limit on the interstate, that's a myth. Oh. Well, wait a minute. That part might be true. Hang on. That one may not apply. Hang on. That was a bad one pick.
Well, I like how he went after. I found a different article, plus I went and watched his interview when he went on his 8-minute rambling segment about that. And he even called out Representatives Josh Hawley and Jim Jordan and then Senator Lindsey Graham, saying that they were completely selfish. They're cowards because they won't do anything about sensible gun control measures. Of course, we've all heard that term before. Common sense gun control, sensible gun control, anything and everything. But here's what I thought was interesting. A guy pointed out, he goes, I wonder if Mr. Popovich felt safe or unsafe with the 2 to 6 armed security officers who travel with the team everywhere they go.
See, that's just it. You see those kind of critics all the time, the AOCs of the world that say, we got to get rid of them all, but yet what do they have them surrounded with? Right?
Exactly. And not only that, you look at the NBA, the Major League Baseball, the kneelers out there in the football world. Every single one of them stadiums have one thing in common. They've never been attacked like this. Why? Look at the armed security inside those facilities. Could it be that they're a hardened target and having armed security works as Ted Cruz has said he'd like to do now? He'd like to get those in the schools. And Jamie and I have talked a lot about that we need to have it. It works. You put armed security people in there, and it takes care of a lot of this. Soft targets just become targets and very accessible.
So from now on, we'll refer to him as Coach Popovich.
There you go.
That'll really get him triggered.
I see what you did there. Triggered. Got it.
Yeah.
Guns in the 701. You're at K-Fire at 847. How come you guys aren't in Indianapolis right now?
I'm in the middle of calving. I can't go.
Can't you? Here's the joke of the day. Can't you farm that out? See what I did there? Farm.
I'm sure my wife would handle it, but then I catch all kinds of crap online. You know how that goes. Yeah, we got the annual meetings going on, and of course NRA. That's what I used to work for. They had their meetings there in 2014. They're going to have. They had one in 2019, and they went in 2023 this year. But the headliner, I would say the biggest headliner is President Trump is again speaking at the annual meeting. In fact, I believe it's taking place today, this afternoon, with the opening at the Leadership Forum. And, Trump's been endorsed. It was the first time that the NRA came out in 2016 and endorsed in a primary for a presidential campaign. That's the first time they'd ever done it, and got behind Trump way back then. They felt it was that important to come out and endorse that early. So he's no stranger to the NRA. He's been a friend of the NRA ever since he's been president, since he ran the first time. And I think it's going to be a great day. They also got Governor Kristi Noem from South Dakota. If I remember right, Jamie, she received some kind of award, or she's receiving one?
Yeah, I believe it's the NRA Hunting Leadership Award for, basically being a leader and a promoter of hunting rights in South Dakota. She of course, she had the commercial. It was last year, or the year before, when she was out with her shotgun and the pheasant flew up and she shot it. That again, I'm going to use it. Thought she really triggered some people with that one.
Yeah.
I thought it was great. It was nice shooting. Yeah, of course, she has an A+ rating from the NRA. And at the conventions in 2022, after there was a shooting in Houston, a bunch of these people backed out down there. Kristi Noem and President Trump were not one. They actually went there and spoke. But we had people backing out. The governor of Texas backed out. The lieutenant governor, John Cornyn, he's a senator in Texas. He backed out. And Representative Dan Crenshaw, he's kind of up and down on the Second Amendment. And, of course, what really got me about that was Lee Greenwood was supposed to sing. He backed out because he's supposed to be this big patriot standing up for your rights guy. He backed out. He quit. He left quick. He got out of there quick. Larry Gatlin did too. He's supposed to be a big Texan, and Yep. This year, I guess I couldn't. I'm not going to lie to you, Clay. I couldn't really find who the artists were this year. I think I seen it once, but they were kind of some lower name guys. I mean, people like George Strait have done it and Alan Jackson before, but
I didn't see a good. I mean, they didn't. It was vague on the website this year, like you said before when we were talking. They've been a little lax on the website this year, but they always have some kind of big name or a country music star generally singing there. I imagine.
Do they keep that kind of quiet just from a security standpoint of rather than letting the webosphere get on their case or something? You think it might be that versus, or they may very well be lax. I don't know. Which way does that work?
I don't think they're hiding it. They never have before. And, I worked for them guys for 10 years. I was a volunteer for 10 years with them before that. And most of the time the NRA don't really care about that. They're pretty vocal in what they do. So maybe they changed protocol this year. I don't know. I know that recently there was an incident that Jamie had told me about with Wayne LaPierre and some protesters, and he went after him, which was good to see him do that. So, I mean, these people are getting more vocal, so maybe they added that extra security detail.
And it may not be a thing of them versus what the artist, maybe the artist is like, hey, be happy, be honored, do me a favor so we can just keep it quiet from the idiots, and let's just not, make it a big deal until it's time.
They may have.
Who knows? That's the sad world we live in. I think it's horrible that we get to that point where but I guess don't feed the beast, as it were. 851 at K-Fire, it's Guns in the 701. Did you guys find the Fury yet?
I'll let Jamie go first on this, and then I'll add what I learned watching the video on it. That's a pretty cool round, I think.
Yeah, so we got a round called the Fury. It's made by Fury Custom Bullets in Michigan. 660 grain, .729 caliber, hollow point slug. It's the world's largest hollow point. And you got to shoot this thing out of out of a rifle barrel shotgun. Of course, you can't have any chokes in there, but it's pretty accurate. I guess I've been looking at some things on it. These guys are getting like just a little over inch groups with this thing at 100 yards. I think our buddy Doug, to get some of these made from these custom bullets for his 50 cal, because Clay and I and Doug did a test with a 338 and a 50 cal. The 338 would actually blow stuff up far better because you could get soft points, and the 50 cal, the 50 BMG was only the full metal jacket. So maybe that's something to try in that. I found not exactly. I couldn't find the price on Fury, but another company makes these hollow points too. These are only 376 grainers, though, and for 15 of them, it's $40. You definitely say shoot it out of a rifle barrel shotgun. So,
yeah, you don't want to waste those, do you?
So
no,
there you
it
go.
sounds like fun, though. I'd like.
Oh yeah. I watched the video they had. I don't know if you clicked on that to watch it. What I thought was interesting is those babies were moving. I mean, think about that, 660 grain moving at 1,260 feet per second. Shot a little low. But I tell you what, that thing is smoking, and I think they'd be a lot of fun.
So if you're wondering what to get the Guns of the 701 guys for Christmas, a couple of pallets of ultra-right conservative dads, 100% woke-free American beer, and then about 12 pallets of the Fury, and I think they'll be set for about a weekend.
We'll have to invite you out, Todd, to shoot a few.
Oh, I'll be there. You let me know when it's ready to go. We'll do
donate us some watermelons. We need a lot of watermelons for a gun.
Good point. Guns of the 701. So you dropped some new stuff on Wednesday, right?
Yes, we did. We had our live show Wednesday. We got her put up on the website, and of course, it launched to iHeart, our favorite podcast platform. You can hear it there, download it, take it anywhere you want. And then if you're in the mood, you got to drop by, Mandan Sporting Goods, one of your guys' sponsors as well as ours, and check them out as well.
And KFYR Plus, which is KFYR TV. It's not our deal, but our good friend Jay Dillon talks to you guys. When does that happen?
That's every Monday at 11:30 a.m. Mountain, 12:30 p.m. Central, and we're on there for about 30 minutes. Yeah, it's a live stream. Like you said, Todd, you can go on KFYR Plus and then just click Watch Live, and the name of the program's called In the Crosshairs with JD and Clay, and like you said, Jay Dillon hosted. It's been going good. It's fun. Just like coming on here with you and iHeart. This is awesome. We have a good time doing it, and go back and check out our show from Wednesday on iHeart. That was we talked about Washington State had an assault weapons ban passed, waiting periods, a bunch of stuff. We got on Kentucky and Tennessee. They're trying to get some more gun control passed there now, and Clay and I give you our opinion on that and some other fun stuff. Of course, that live stream of ours is every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Mountain, 7 Central. Facebook, YouTube, and gunsandthe701.com.
Guns of the 701. Thanks, guys. Have a great weekend.
Thanks a lot, Todd.
Thank you, Todd. Have a great one, buddy.
Best podcast on iHeart, bar none. Guns in the 701.
Absolutely.
8:55.